Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku. We also had Luma, Atea, Mina, Kendo, and Eunice. Now, Izuku, after he agreed to the deal to be with all 5 of these girls, he's been doing a lot within the last year. He got a home thanks to the world government giving him private property. And it's a massive little facility. It's certainly spacious, roomy. And Deku, in the course of the last year, has been able to deal with a lot. He had nightmares about dealing with Albedo and the possible return of Vilgax. However, nothing has been found. Scraps. They have been found. But even then, this is not evidence suggesting the Conqueror is still alive. Deku, he went to a meeting with the Magisters and is currently one himself. They talked about an event and how exactly this could affect things for Earth going forwards. There is cooperation between the species. There is cohabitation of Earth. And people, they have been more welcoming of extraterrestrials on their planet. And Deku, he was quite happy to hear about this. However, he stepped out of the room quickly and talked to Luma, and Luma gave him some information that told Izuku one thing. One of his old enemies, Malware, is still currently alive. And Deku, he hasn't heard about him in years. He thought that thing was destroyed. And then he talked to his grandfather about one particular situation. Luma and Atea, these two have been discussing things with him recently, and it honestly had him a little terrified. It wasn't anything about diplomacy breakdowns, it wasn't anything about potential wars happening, it was the idea of having a family. And Ken was a little surprised. Deku explained it. Luma talked about them having a child together, and it had him a little scared. But Ken, he was honestly a little shocked. It reminded him of whenever he heard about Inko wanting to have a child of her own. It just had him a little caught off guard. Made him realize how old he actually is. His baby's all grown up, and now her son, her baby, is about to be all grown up. It's just telling him that his age is catching up with him. He's not as young as he once was. And he tried to give Izuku the best advice possible. Talk to them more and let them know how he's feeling about this. And Deku, he will do that. However, he went to go talk to Mina. On his way, he ran into Kai and Bakugo, and 3 went off to go see Mina, who currently is in Undertown. And Deku, yeah, he also is dealing with a bit of problems with Kendo, and the fact that he might need to re-meet her father and let him know that they're dating again. And that might go a bit bad. And we do currently have Izuku, who does go to move across the rooftop and is trying to figure some stuff out. He is currently in Undertown. Him and Mina, they have been working together. He currently is Wild Mutt, and he's sniffing the air and trying to use his echolocation to see anything. The city's a bit busy. It's a bit loud, but he's trying to focus. Listen for anything galvanic. Listen for anything that is off. A smell, a scent. He will pick up on it. He'll remember it. That on his mind. Currently, Deku going to run across the rooftop on all 4s. Him going to leap through the air and currently transform. Him going intangible as it'll fly across as Big Chill. And he doesn't hear Mina in his ear, asking him if he really thinks he can track him down this way. It's a start. Listen, we've tracked him down before. We'll be able to do it again. Besides, If we cause an uproar, it'll be worse. We need to make people aware, though. Find a way? Hmm. I'm not sure. But if we do, tell people just to avoid mechamorphs, that could be a problem, right? Might be. Might be. Though, we've got a lot happening. You okay, Zuko? If you do want to cut it short, we can. Her flying over the city and expressing. There's a lot that can be done by her tonight. She can check up a few other things. Besides, she could talk to the, you know, police force, the plumbers, and get them to patrol more, a bit more heavily. She has found some connections, but not many. I'm fine. Is this about Kendo? She did she talk to you about it? She told me a few things. I've also been a bit worried about Eunice. Hmm? Yeah, but I've talked to her. She's fine. Is she, Izuku? She's been scared or something. Has she? She has. I've read her mana. She's just worried. What's she worried about? Izuku, I think you should talk to her. Maybe see how she's doing. You know, not confront her, but let her know you are picking up on it. Right, right. I'll see what I can do about that. Um, actually, Deku getting a communication, and he is currently land. Him going to pull out his badge and look at it before he has to ask Mina if she'll be fine here dealing with it on her own. And she has to express she already was. If he's a bit busy, he should go. Besides, they've spent some time together already. They can meet back at home. Right. Deku transforming. Currently his visor shooting down as he's making his way off the roof. And land on the ground. Him going to turn and begin to sprint directly down the road. And we do currently have Kendo. Kendo does sit there in the driveway. She was dropped off by a ship. And she morphed her body to give herself a casual appearance. Okay, okay. This is gonna be good. It's gonna go well. It should go well. She's just not sure how they might react to this at all. Okay, no, no, no. Don't don't stress out, Kendo. Don't stress out. That's not good. It's not good. If they think that you're panicking, it'll have them worried more. Okay, okay. Deku gonna stop. Him transforming back into a human and talking about it. Is she okay? You're here. Yeah, yeah, I was trying to help out Mina, but she hasn't found any leads. It's been a bit cold for the last couple hours. Nothing's popped up? No, no. We tried looking the other day, but it still didn't work out too well. So, you ready? Yeah, yeah, I am. Okay. So, you ready yourself? Oh, yeah. Do I look okay or should I change? Deku's staying there. Currently, him in the black leather jacket and currently with a white shirt, along with the fact that his jeans and shoes, they look normal. And she has to express, stepping forwards, bring her hands up and going to run her hands through his hair a bit, talking about how maybe, That's better. Okay, I'm fine. You're gonna freak me out. I'm sorry. The two turning and currently walking up to the door. And there is where Kendo does go to knock on the door. As right now, someone does come walking over. Them gonna open the door and see Kendo. And her mother does stand there, her turning to her daughter and smiling, before her eyes do to fall on Izuku Midoriya. And she does stare at him, a little bit more concerned. Her looking back at Kendo. And Kendo does a smile at her mom and give her a nod. And she does express, so, um, he would be, it's good to see you again. Um, okay. And when I turn, currently Kendo's father walking up and seeing Izuku and his daughter. And he does a stare directly at Izuku before Kendo does a step forwards, expressing that this is, well, her boyfriend, the guy they've heard so much about. Hmm. Nice to see you again, Izuku. Uh, Likewise, sir. Um, it's nice to be here. So, heard a lot of news about you, especially with your peace treaty. So, exactly what does that exactly mean for you then? Things not work out too well, or are you just trying to, how does the Earth term go? Circle your bases? Honey, I'm just saying, why exactly are you here with my daughter? Dad, I, there's a lot to explain about it. Listen, Izuku's a good guy and he's giving me another chance. I'm sorry, you're not giving him another chance. It's the other way around? Dad, it's a whole thing. It's complicated. Listen, just don't freak out on us. Don't freak out on me. Stress, it's bad. Listen, sir, um, I get the last time we met wasn't on very good circumstances, but it's just, well, just coming already. Besides, if the neighbors see you, they might freak out. Them gonna move into the door, and currently Deku to close it as they to walk over. Currently, Kendo's mother expressing about how dinner has been made, and about how she's done a few other things. And Kendo talks about it. She was going to bring something, but well, a lot came up. She got a little bit busy with work and a few other things. She's just been a little under the weather too. Hmm? It's all right, honey. Besides, there's plenty for everyone. Kendo's father staring daggers directly at Izuku, and her mother doesn't sit down, talking about a few things, before turning and asking Izuku if there's been any new developments with him, other than what the news has told them. Oh, there's been a few things. And has there been any developments other than that you're aware of? Not really. Right now, other than just the events that are going to be held on Earth and concern about that, it's just been a lot of personal stuff that's been changing a bit. Personal? Like? Well, it's just that I'm dealing with a potential enemy of mine that's re-emerging. It's a little bit of concern, but we should be able to take him down. Although the fact that he's been gone for all these years It is the main concern. I thought he was gone. Oh, and exactly how is that? Deku turning, looking at Keno's father. Him going to express. Is he sure he's not going to be putting his daughter in more danger already? Fact is, last time he remembers, she and him broke up. He rejected her. So, how is it exactly that the two are back together? Along with that, how long has this been happening? Dad. No, I'm curious. I want to know. Because your mother has told me a few things, and I would like to at least hear it from him. That's, well, what exactly do you know? From what you can tell, not much. So, young man, other than you coming back into our home and back into my daughter's life, and her apparently wanting you back, after you got married, and after I'm presumably sure you have much more on your plate, what have you done? What do you mean? What have you done? Do you have anything on my daughter? Why exactly would she take you? Dad. No, it's fine. Listen, it's a long story, but I'm sure I can explain it. I'm sure it has a good ending. Okay. The marriage between me, Luma, and Atea is political, and there have been developments there, and it's been nice. It has helped Earth. My relationship with your daughter, it is good. And, and I won't lie to you. Me and Mina, my friend, we're together as well, along with another girl. So you are a womanizer. He's not, Dad. Let me explain it to you. Keno's mother turning her head before going to stand and express to Kendo. She'd like to have a conversation with her very quickly. And the two, they do look at each other, as Kendo looks at her dad and looks at Izuku, expressing to him not to do anything drastic. Her looking at Izuku, telling him to please not, well, push him. I won't. Good. Her going to lean forwards before giving Izuku a hug and going to stand, walking to the next room with her mother, because the two need to have a serious chat about this. And Deku does sit there, the man expressing, as he told him before, he has done good for Earth, but his daughter, he draws a line. Does he understand exactly what he's doing? How far is he willing to push this? I care for her. Yes, and she broke your heart. So, what? You broke hers out of spite? Then she comes crawling back to you? What did you do to her? I didn't do anything to her. You expect me to really believe that? I don't. My main concern here tonight was if things got physical. Really? Yes, it was. Sir, I have made you well aware. I don't outgrow people. I wouldn't do that. Me and Kendo have been acquaintances before. After our breakup, her assignment with the plumbers, it was tricky. Along with that, she was promoted to an agent. Yes, I've heard some things about that. She was a part of that fight. She was. She was there with me, and I made sure to get her off the ship safely. I wouldn't let anything happen to her. No harm. Really now. So I see that your watch has changed. Yes, sir. Deku expressing, talking a little bit about albedo and who exactly he was, and the threat he caused to his family. Now, Deku, he does continue talking a little bit about Vilgax, and the man does sit there, him staring Deku down with his hands folded in front of his plate, which does currently have some steaming hot food. And Kendo, it does come walking back into the room before she's a little bit concerned. And there currently is where Deku turns his head as she talks about it. Well, maybe they should just cancel for tonight. Kendo's mother sitting down, and Kendo standing there and still fidgeting with her fingers a bit. And Deku does a turn, him asking if they're gonna be leaving. No, no, no. Mom, please. Kendo, I don't think now is a good time. Mom, there's never gonna be a good time to tell them. Tell us what? Dad, I'm, well, Kendo, are you okay? Uh, not really, just a little freaking out, 'cause I found out last week that I was pregnant? Deku staring at her, and those words make his face drop. Deku turning back around, and there currently is a look at her father's face, which does drop. And currently he does a liquefy, him moving under the table and directly smashing into Izuku. And Kendo does a turn, currently Deku being smashed into the wall as is a turn directly into an alien. Currently him staying there as forearms. And the man does take form, screaming out a bit about what the hell he did to his little girl. Now, Deku, he has a stand there. Currently the man screaming at Deku's face as Deku turns into Big Chill. Him going to phase forwards and directly through the man, who does get a freeze over. And Deku does a turn, before transforming into a human and looking at Kendo. You didn't tell me? You... Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, Izuku, I was worried about how you would react. Can't... I... I think I need some fresh air. Deku turning, currently walking out of the room and out into the backyard, before he has to sit down and just think. Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. Okay, his heart's racing and pounding. Okay, okay, he's... Holy shit, oh my god, oh my god. He's gonna be a dad? No, 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 that's, no, no, he knows it's, no, think is a good think when, oh, fuck, it is his. Okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. God, he needs to, shit. No, 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 talk to Eunice, maybe Mina, oh god, he needs to talk to Mina, but, no, no, they, okay, okay. Oh god, Luma and Atea. Shit. God, how is he even going to bring this up to all of them? Okay, okay. Just stop freaking out. Stop freaking the fuck out. And currently there actually is Kendo, who does come walking out and going to sit down before expressing. She, didn't know when to tell him. Tell who? Him or me? Either of you. I found out and freaked out a little bit. Okay, but does anyone else know? I mean, No. Oh God, I gotta call my mom. My dad. Yeah, maybe you should. Kendo, him bringing his hands up and currently pulling her into a hug. And there actually is Kendo's mother, who does still stand there. Right now, her recording these two. Since this, it might help calm her father down. The boy is scared, panicking, and, well, he's not running off. In fact, he seems a little surprised. Yeah, he's terrified, obviously, but he's 19. Okay, maybe this might help settle things down a bit. Calm them down. He is a good kid, albeit, well, a strange one. And currently she's express, walking over. The two might want to leave, but she'll talk to her father later, and after he thaws out, she'll try and calm him down. Are you sure, Mom? I'm fairly certain. Also, Izuku, her gonna turn, expressing. If he does decide to run, be aware. A lot of people might hunt him down. Wouldn't dream of it, Miss, just be aware. Take care of her. Also, I'd rather not have liked to see you again, but given the circumstances, I'm glad my little girl has the best. Thank you, ma'am. Uh, I think I just need to lie down a bit. I'm getting a little dizzy. I understand. You should have seen her father's reaction. I'm sure it was a little bit worse, right? He was excited, though he's highly protective of her, I understand. I'm a bit the same way. Didn't know he was a jealous type. Kendo expressing to her mother, please just stop. Right. You two should probably go. I've got a mess to clean. Then I'm gonna leave, and currently heading back home. And Deku, he does think about a lot, trying to think. Currently, him sitting there outside, and he does have some food in front of him. He's just worried. And there currently is where Mina does come flying down. Deku, hearing a sound, and going to turn. As currently Mina does some flying through the shield that does cover the house. Her going to land and see Izuku, who does just sit there. Currently, him with a drink in front of him and the ice melting a little heavily. And she's just stare before she's to bring her hand up and read his emotion. And it's, what happened? Hmm? I didn't even see you land. Sorry, I thought you went right inside. Are you okay? I'm terrified. I can tell. It's potent. But you're happy too. What happened? It's a lot to explain. I I don't I don't know where to begin. I've already called my mom, my dad. I called my grandpa, and he sort of just laughed at me for a minute. I don't know if he can coach me through this one. Though, I'm not sure how good I might be at changing diapers. Her looking at Deku. Diapers? Oh, why would he need to change diapers? Uh, oh. That's You don't have to pretend, Mina. I don't even know how to react to it myself. I'm happy, terrified, scared. I don't I don't know all these feelings. My hands, they just won't stop shaking. Her staring at Deku. He's a little hysterical about this. I mean, it seems right. Though, yeah, that's definitely something. Encourages a walk over. Her going to pull him into a hug and try to reassure him for a minute. Before we're going to turn and take a sip of his drink, talking about how she's had a bit of a long day. She didn't find anything on malware, but right now she's going to be keeping the turrets at least on standby. She's putting the house on high alert. Her going to walk inside and arm a bit more of the security systems. And Deku doesn't understand, as currently there actually is someone sitting there. Eunice. She heard Izuku come home with Kendo. Kendo was happy. Kendo was, well, a little scared. She just went over to her room and didn't come back out. She's she's got some news for Izuku too. Apparently family dinner might not have gone the way they expected. Did he get hurt? Was there some violence? It's just been weird. Her walking over and going to sit down. Deku going to turn as she's to hug him, asking if he's okay, if things went bad tonight. Oh, uh, no, I'm fine. I just, I am dealing with a bit of a situation. Really? Yeah, yeah. But what about you though, Eunice? I'd really like to change the subject a bit, but I guess there's no harm in telling you. Kendo, she's she's going to have a baby. I just I don't know how to react to all this. I'm just a little scared. Her seeing Deku and going to smile, talking about how that's great. I know, but still, I just I'm gonna sit there quietly. And Eunice does somewhat pout before bringing her hand down onto his arm, telling him, "Just calm down. Besides, if anything does happen, then they've got people to rely on, right?" Right. You're right. I'm just hysterical. It's the human state, Izuku. Not really, Eunice. No, Izuku. Humans are highly emotional. They don't know how to deal with certain things or emotions. And sometimes too many emotions can overwhelm them. I've looked a lot into this, Izuku. I've learned a lot about Earth. Though, I've also learned a lot about the universe. Have you contacted Asmuth? I have, and he's been offering me that position back as an assistant. I'm not sure about taking it, but it beats me trying to learn more about psychology and learn more about Earth. Sometimes it's a little boring to do all that. Really. Yeah, I mean, his position doesn't sound too bad. I'd be out there exploring things and figuring some stuff out. I even talked to him about possibly cataloging stuff on Earth. You know, seeing how that all goes. It sounds good. It does. There are a lot of species here that he actually just find intriguing, like the mantis shrimp, or what's the name of it? It's a sort of jellyfish. I've thought about going to find it, but I might have some troubles, especially because it might zap me. Are you sure? Maybe. I'm still trying to get a handle on these abilities. Right. But other than that, Eunice, are you okay? I'm fine, Izuku. I'm just. I'm worried about you right now, not me. Right, right. No, I do get it. Listen, tomorrow, how about make something good? Some breakfast? Besides, there's that gala event next week. You've got to get prepared for it. They might expect you to make a speech, you know. Oh my God, no, no. I am so bad at speaking. God. I'd rather be fighting Ghost Freak. All right, I get it. Though you might want to get some stuff started. Listen, how about I pour you a drink or get you another glass and you think about a speech? You know, have some time for it in case they do want you to speak. You don't want to be caught off guard. Thank you. Though, you want to help me write it? Oh, I can, but don't you think it should come from you? It'll feel more genuine. I don't really want to put words in your mouth. Mm, sure, but you're a way better diplomat than I am. Can't deny that. Hurling forwards, giving Izuku a kiss, and currently to a turn, standing up, going to quickly move inside. And Deku does try to think. A speech. A speech. Okay, he'll have to write something down. Hmm. Look into who's attending and do all that. Deku pulling out his badge. Gonna sit down to the table and stare at it. I mean, it's not a bad thing. He was a kid when he learned about the plumbers. Huh. Yeah, it's been a long 9 years. Though it's been a good 9 years, too. Maybe? Okay, okay. That's a whole other thing. And currently there actually is somebody who does a stare to Zuko. Currently, them, far in the distance. And they do get a turn, making their way away. Observing him is definitely intriguing, and interacting with him could be detrimental to their plan. Right now, however, they need him to just move forwards, move along. If they do intervene here, they don't know what might change, what it might affect. And there currently is where Deku, he does begin to write a few things down. Currently, him on an open sheet on the badge. Him currently transcribing a few things vocally and going to try and change it. And Eunice, she came out with something for Izuku before she told him about how she's going to bed a little early. Her walking away with a few other things currently going through her mind. And there actually is Deku. Deku, he does mean to try and talk, try and think, try and just figure out how to say these words that sound right. I mean, looking at the gallery list of people who he might interact with, who he might talk to, it's going to be a lot. And there currently is where someone, they do come walking out. Deku turning his head as Luma does go stand there. Her asking him about what he might be doing. Hey, Luma. Nothing, it's just I'm trying to. Well, Eunice said next week they might expect me to make a speech. I didn't think I would need one, so I don't have anything planned. Her walking over and going to take a seat, looking to see what Deku currently does have written. Hmm. Not a bad start, though you do appear to be nervous. Is something else troubling you, Izuku? Oh, it's nothing to worry about. it does not appear to be that way. Your hands are shaking. Your eyes are, well, wide, with a little bit of terror, and you do appear to be on adrenaline. I'd say you just got done with a mighty battle, but there's not a scratch on you. Are you alright? I've. I'd rather not talk about it. I got some news today and I just had a bit of a mixed reaction to it. Really? Yes, I'm sorry, just I'm trying to focus on this and I don't know what to really say. Eunice made some good points, but I'm not really the talkative type. I mean, that's her department. I could no, they wouldn't let me just let her give the speech. They don't know who she is. Izuku, how about I give you a hand? Listen, her gonna turn. Bring down one of her left arms. Talking about it. This is going to be important for Earth. And right now, how about she does help him, as one of his allies? However, she herself will be grabbing a drink. And how about they talk more about this? It'll take probably a few hours, so she will grab a nice mighty year. Does that sound fair? Maybe, but let's just not overdo it. We'll see where the night goes, Izuku. Currently, her going to walk back inside. And Deku does still sit there, looking over his speech that he's been writing. And no, she does make a few good points. Okay. So scrap that idea for right now, and moving it to the side. And currently going to restart. Before beginning to speak again, and Luma does come walking out. Her watching Deku as currently he does look up out of the sky. And right now, he does continue to talk. Her watching on. Before Deku does someone stop and think a bit more. It stopping the transcription on the screen in front of him. Her walking over and going to sit down a bucket with some ice. Before going to turn to the alcohol, expressing to him about exactly what he should probably be doing. Maybe change that part there. Thanks. We're going to sit down. And the two, they do begin to go over a lot of things tonight. And Luma, she is actually very helpful here. She's making sure that Deku doesn't use the wrong type of wording, making sure he doesn't say something mistakenly, making sure that this does apply to everyone who might be involved. And Deku, he does wake up the next morning. Currently, him with a bit of a hangover, and currently finding himself with someone's arms wrapped around him. And Deku, he has to sit up in Luma's bed. Currently, him going to turn and see her. Her laying there, currently just a little hungover. And right now, he has a bend down. Him going to give her a kiss before he has a climb out. Currently, him stretching as he does sit there in some sweatpants. And Luma, she does still lay there. Her currently still asleep. And Deku, he is thinking about a lot this morning. The news last night still seems a little surreal. It's interesting. Maybe call Kendo's mother and see how her dad's doing. If he might have calmed down, or if, well, he's still mad. It's definitely something. But, yeah. He's probably got to talk to his mom or dad. Maybe do that, take the day off of patrol. Mina's probably already up and left. Uh, okay, no. The plumbers are still getting things up for the event. Yeah, maybe he should go see his dad. Talk to his mom. It's gonna be an interesting conversation. And Deku, here's a leaf. And currently, there are a lot of things happening. Deku is trying to deal with this new information, trying to write a speech he might not even use. And, well, yeah, trying to juggle all of it, it will be a little challenging, but not impossible. Mina can handle patrols in Undertown. Luma can help him write the speech. And if it does come to all the other stuff, Bakugo and Kai might have it covered, along with Melissa and the rest of the helpers. They've been doing a lot better since the recovery, but that's his other concern. He's trying to not push the stuff onto them, not deal with all of it on his own. It has shown his growth. He's relying on other people for certain things. But at the same time, shouldn't he just rely on it himself? No, no. That's the mistake his other self made. He stopped relying on people. Huh. Well, you can see how this goes. And currently, we do actually have a Zuko, who does it to head out and see his mother and father. And the two, they were both surprised to hear the news last night. And they do at least want to meet Kendo again. And there is Izuku, who does get his speech written, and so far, Malware has yet to attack again. He has yet to take or claim another victim. And that, it does have Mina highly suspicious. With Deku in Undertown, this might have given Malware a new development, a new tactic to divert their attention. If that's the case, they need to be prepared for it. And we do actually have the next week, where Earth, they begin to welcome a lot of people here. The ambassadors, the kings, the queens of empires. Along with the fact that the plumbers, they had a lot going on. Crafts began to land and be brought down to the planet. And the airspaces, they were being highly monitored. So, right now while all that's happening, some people might take their chance to either sneak onto the planet or off the planet. Especially because the plumbers are going to be swamped with security for a lot of things. Smaller crafts might be able just to slip right in undetected, or even teleportation technology they might not even capture. So yeah, along with not only them monitoring the skies, there's a lot of people on the ground. And we do actually have where people, they have begun to arrive. And there is currently Izuku. A ship does get a land, and people do to watch on, as Deku does a step out currently wearing a tuxedo. Him, currently, in a black suit with a green shirt. And Deku, he does a turn. Currently, him with his hair slicked back a bit and waving to the crowd of people. And some of them, they do to see him. And there is where someone does come walking up. Currently, Deku turning and seeing Bakugo, as they do to walk over to each other and Deku does to bring his hand up. Them going to smack their hands together as Deku does to bring his other hand up. The two patting each other on the back, talking about how it's been a second, huh? Been a bit busy. Have you now? Listen, this is a bit of a big event, so Helen's patrolling the area, making sure things are clear. Everyone else is on standby, and Melissa, from what I've gathered, she's on aerial duty. She's making sure things don't go too bad here. Okay, and the rest of the plumbers? They're worried about blending in, being a bit more like the secret police. They're not trying to show off that Earth is expecting this event to be attacked, but they're trying to be cautious of it. Everyone else, their camouflage or stealth nearby. So, they're out of sight and out of mind. Smart tactic. Right. So where's Kai? She's over there. She's talking with a few people, making sure that everything's up in order. Listen, where's Mina? She's here. And we had turn. Her currently walking off the ship in a purple dress, along with Eunice and Kendo. Eunice, she's wearing a nice black dress that does actually look nice on her. And Bako stares at that. Her currently with her hair straightened, and Kendo does a step down, her wearing a red one, and talking about it. So, where's the other two? Atea's still dealing with her dad, though there's Luma. I'm gonna turn, and Luma does some stepping off. Her with a nice black dress that does have gold trim on it, and currently she does still wear her helmet. Him talking about it. Wow. Yep. So, we gotta get going, right? We probably should. Deku turning, and currently their actions are Eunice does grab his arm. Him turning to her for bringing his other arm and looking at uh hmm, him talking about it. So, well, he probably didn't think this through. It's fine. Mina gonna turn, talking about it. They've got a few things to deal with. Though, being here tonight, it could be nice. Then again, her gonna turn full Anodite, and some people are staring at this. Her stepping forwards and giving Izuku a kiss. Before Deku does a turn, people looking at him as she continues to fly forwards, talking about how she'll be inside. And people are currently making headlines of this, because this event shows off quite a lot happening. And Deku, him and the girls do go walking in. Him going through security and at least showing off his identity. And people, when they do see him step in with the girls, it does look rather interesting to see. Deku, he's a powerful man. And many people, they do to walk over to greet him. And Deku, he has to see the Ultimatrix begin to have the dial turn yellow, along with expressing about the unknown DNA samples currently within the area. And that, it does make him a bit more concerned, since this thing probably wants to scan every guest in the party. Ah, shit. Well, that's not really good. No. Deku does begin to mingle, apologizing to some of the people that his Ultimatrix does also scan, though they are highly intrigued. Deku, he tries to present himself well. He tries to show off who he is, talk to them, but not butter them up, along with even showing off some of the aliens in his Omnitrix. People wanted to see him, meet him, and know how he exactly operates, how exactly well he does function. And currently Deku, he does go to stand there, as we do actually have Kendo and Eunice. The two are sitting at a table. They've talked to a lot of guests, and some of the people here, they are, well, not extravagant, but they're kind of boring. Yeah, I mean, there's a king of this empire trying to show off to this guy who's the king of this empire. As far as Kendo's concerned, this seems more like a galactic dick measuring contest by this point. It's just so repetitive, some of these people. They're smug about it, but they're also interested to see Earth. Though whenever it does come to Izuku, they do show off their concern about it. They know not to try and make threats or make an enemy out of him, since they've seen exactly what he does to his enemies. And that, it's kind of funny to see. There was this guy who, whenever he was talking to Izuku, looked like he was trying not to walk on broken glass. He was blindfolded. And he's probably staying there after the events of a bull in a china shop. So that was a bit funny to watch. Especially because it ended with him running off, trying to handle a situation. And currently there actually is Eunice, who does go to sit there. Her turning and looking at a few things, since she's already had some of the weird cuisine they've had here. And at this point, she's not really too sure. You okay? Oh, I'm fine. Though, shouldn't you be over there with him? Not really. Luma's doing fine. And Mina, I'm sure she's patrolling, though she was having a drink earlier with a few people over there. Right. But what about you, Eunice? Aren't you gonna go join them? Uh, maybe later. Okay then. Why not just have a drink, relax? Um, well, I don't think that's a good idea. What? You a violent drunk? Not necessarily. I'm just not trying to overdo things. We're trying to make this event look good for Earthlings, right? I'm I'm an Earthling, and I just don't want to make a fool of myself. I get it. Though, I guess I'm in the same boat. Her turning and staring at Kendo, who currently is in her humanoid Lenopan form. Her talking about it. They're trying to talk to her about her people. Some questions she doesn't even know how to answer. And there currently is Izuku. He does stand there, currently discussing a few things. And they do to watch on his interactions. As Deku, he is trying to be very careful. He's trying to be very deliberate with his speech and a few things. And after some mingling, Deku, he does get to hear a voice. A person going to at least express about how tonight has been a night that has shown many things. And Earthlings and the Plumber Alliance, they've been able to do quite a lot of things tonight. Within holding this event, they've showed off that the planet known as Earth, while it has been the source of some controversy right now currently, it is welcome. It is welcoming to them. So they would like to welcome it to the Galactic Alliance. They are intrigued as to how things may go forward tonight. And speaking of that, they do have somebody here who they are all familiar with. An agent of the plumbers, Magister Midoriya. And they would like him to say a few words. And Deku does currently stand there. Him going to begin a walk up as he does a stand in front of a bunch of people. Him looking at many of them. He's definitely nervous about this. I'd like to proper introductions are possibly necessary. I don't know how to follow that up really. I'm not one for speeches, but I'd like to thank all of you for coming here to Earth today. Tonight? Sorry. Listen, we're Deku hearing a sound, turning his head as currently there is someone they to bring their hands up and attempt to batter Izuku away. And Deku, the moment he turned his head and saw them, he thought one thing. He thought Diamond Head. Currently he being sent flying away and threw directly at the audience. Him going to transform as Deku, he has actually stopped himself in the air as Chroma Stone. Him going to look directly at him. And Malware stares at Deku, along the fact that he does have a few robots with him. Him talking about it. My, it's been quite some time. And here he thought the boy was different. Then again, he thought he might have had the upper hand on this one. Everybody get out of here now. This is a problem. Deku, at least expressing. Currently a siren blaring and people making their way out of the room. Since this is bad. And currently there actually is Mina, who does gotta bring her hands up as Malware, does try to send out a massive blast across the room. Her creating a wall that does defend it from everybody. The blast cracking into it as Mina keeps it steady and stable. And Deku, he doesn't move forwards. Currently the robot's Malware has blasting out directly into the shield. And Deku, there's a flying forwards. Mina making a hole in it as Deku does a flying through it and bringing his hand back, blasting out at Malware. And the wall does explode. Currently, some of the robots being sent flying and being destroyed. And Malware, when he's smashing out into the ground outside, he has to get back up. Currently, him turning and bringing his hand up, as Deku does a flying out and a massive cannon is going to blast at him. Deku going to absorb the attack and bring his hands up, blasting it back down at Malware, as Malware, he has a turn. Him moving and rolling into the technology from the robots that were taken down. Currently them being incorporated into his body as he has a stand there and have mounted shoulder cannons pop up. Them blasting at Izuku as Deku does a bring his hands up and transform again. Currently him turning back into Diamond Head. And Deku, he has a stand there, asking Malware about exactly what he wants. Him blasting out Malware as he does begin to move forwards. And this, it does have him a bit concerned. He needs to be able to keep his distance, but he needs to close the distance. No. Malware will try and grab the Omnitrix. Okay, if anything happens, if you just swing, just move quickly. Quickly. That's right. Currently, Deku having an idea. As he does, going to transform. Currently, him turning into Accelerate. And Malware does a stare at Deku, expressing, if he is going to run, he won't get too far. There are a lot of people here. He can't risk having harmed. And Deku brings his hand down, transforming directly into Ultimate Accelerate. And Malware will get to watch on, as Deku begins to grow in size, and he does stand there as a bigger creature. Him bringing his hand up as Deku, he has a move. Malware from the ground shake a bit under the force of this creature. And Deku is rushing forwards, smacking him away as he sends him flying in the distance. Deku transforming, currently going back to the regular Accelerate, and then going to fly through the air, shifting directly into Squid Lift. And Malware, he is going to create a rocket pack on his back. Him going to fly back around and bring his hands up. Him going to send a barrage down directly at Izuku. And Deku, he has got to move. Currently, him turning into Big Chill and flying forwards. Him going through the laser attacks as he'll flying directly through Malware. And Malware, he has a colliding down to the ground, smashing directly into the area. And Izuku just got a radio in, asking anybody about exactly if they're alright. We're handling things. Yeah, besides Izuku, Bako turning, punching directly through one of the robots, talking about how these guys ain't so tough. Currently, Bako hearing a sound, turning his head as a giant robot manifested into the room. And currently, it does, gonna throw its fist down, smashing it down to Bakugo. And Deku, he does a fly down to the ground. Him hearing Mina talk about how Bakugo may have just ate his words. Currently, her turning, bringing her hands up and blasting out into it, as there actually is Luma, who does come running up and leaping up into the air, her throwing her fist out, smashing directly into it, as it's going to wobble over and begin to crash down to the wall. And Deku, he does begin to fly down to the ice prison Malware is currently inside of. Him transforming into Diamond Head and landing on the ground, bringing his hands up and going to get ready. Him going to put them into the ground as there is where Malware does a break free by sending out a powerful blast. And Deku, he has to watch Malware stand up and ooze out of the ice. Him blasting his hands out and sending out laser beams at Izuku. And Deku brings his hands up and creating a wall. Currently, him having it shoot up his Malware, blast right through it, and Deku does bring his hands up to defend himself. Currently, him trying to think about what to do, as Malware is a flying forwards and sending rockets towards Izuku. And Deku, he does do one thing. He turns into Big Chill and goes intangible. Him going to avoid the attack as he's flying up. Currently, him transforming back into Diamond Head and smash onto the ground. And he does have an idea. He needs an ultimate. And he's always wondered what this would look like. Currently, Deku pressing down to the Ultimatrix and beginning to transform. And Malware does get a watch on. As currently Deku, his body, it does get thinner. He looks less bulky, and his color palette does shift. Currently, his body looking more like stone, and then his head turning purple. And currently Izuku, he has a stand there as Ultimate Diamond Head. His body shifted, and Deku does look down, since this is a bit weird. His hands are purple, but no. Okay, powers are weird. Let's see what he's got. Currently Deku bringing his hands up, trying to blast out the crystals at Malware, and Malware does a blast at Deku, and Deku, he has to throw his hands down. Currently, him beginning to create the diamonds directly around him. Purple diamonds shooting up and defending him. And Izuku does stare at that. Currently, him rushing forwards and going to run up the wall of diamonds. Him bringing his hands up as the diamonds, they do begin to break off of this massive piece and fly through the air down towards Malware. And Deku, he is actually pretty happy with this new ultimate. Him going to fire them out as Malware, he does bring his hands up, blasting out the diamonds as one of them, rip Rookie through the cannon and then hit him directly in the chest. Him being pierced by the massive piece as he doesn't move backwards. And Deku, he has a land, currently bringing his hands up and trying to blast out diamonds at Malware. And Malware, he does a stare at Izuku. As Deku, he does have diamonds begin to shoot up from the ground and smash right into him. And Deku, he does watch Malware be pushed backwards more and more. Before he does have an idea, throwing his hands down and tapping onto the ground, smashing his hands directly into them as he does begin to create the crystals and they move through the ground, them moving in an oval shape and colliding directly with Malware, crushing him into them. And Izuku, he does a stare on. Him wondering if that has him trapped. And Izuku, he has a step forwards, currently getting back to his feet and moving in. And he does a stare on. Before a flash of light does appear and Deku hears a sound. Him bringing his hands up and trying to pull them away. As whenever he does pull the diamonds apart, Malware's nowhere to be seen. Lovely. So that's just great. And this, it does go through his mind. Deku turning and having an idea. Him beginning to fly up into the air as he does have diamonds carrying his body. Now, currently Izuku, he does a flying through the air. And he does go right back at the event and smash down. People seeing the alien and then seeing the Omnitrix logo on its chest. And Deku talks about what they all need to do. Currently him bringing his hands up and beginning to have pieces of his body break off. Them begin to regenerate as he doesn't have the two massive spikes shoot outwards and directly into the robots. Him watching as he smash into them and then begin to break apart and mold more diamonds around them. And people are watching on as Deku shouts out for everybody to get out of here. And currently two people do come flying in. Someone flies into one of the windows and brings up a weapon, them blasting directly out at the massive robot. It being struck in the head as another person does come in. Them flying in and pulling their hand backwards, blasting out a powerful blast and hitting directly into the robot. And Deku does a turn, watching that. And he is a little bit more surprised. As the person, they turn and express, they have a lot of problems right now. There's a bomb in the building. They need him to find it. Then going to turn and begin to blast back out at the giant robot. And they do turn, expressing to Izuku. Right now, it'll go off at 10:37. They don't have a lot of time. They'll keep it distracted. Currently, him bringing his hands down and going into focus, creating a massive pillar as the crystals do shoot forwards in small bursts. And then a massive one is a fire up and impaling the robot up in the air. It going to shoot through the roof and begin to collapse part of the room. And people, they do to feel the building shake as a crystal does go shooting upwards with the robot impaled on it. And Deku, he has to fully stand back up. And the two do stare at him. As Deku is breathing a little heavily. Him going to transform back into Diamond Head and then going to transform into Accelerate with a thought. Him going to turn and zoom around the entire building, trying to find this bomb. And the two, they do begin to try and help evacuate civilians. Currently, somebody running over to Eunice and telling her about how she needs to get out of here now. It's not safe for her either. Then I'm going to turn and seeing Luma. And she does currently begin to take on some of the remaining robots. Them aware she can be done soon. As right now they need to turn and fly away. And there actually is Bakugo. Bakugo, he doesn't see the two fly back out the window. He's never seen those plumbers before. That's weird. However, right now, they all need to evacuate. And there is Izuku. Izuku checked the bathrooms, he checked every closet he could, and he began to search from top to bottom. Right now, he currently is making his way down a staircase. Him going to turn and run on the other side as he does a smash into a door. It gonna fly off the hinges as he does a step into the room, beginning to investigate as he does a zoom around it and then find the bomb. Him turning and running over, for he has to turn directly in a brainstorm and think about exactly what to do. Turning in a jury rig. And then he does go to begin to rip the bomb apart. It being disabled, as the timer, it does have 27 seconds remaining. And Izuku, he does let out a bit of a sigh. Him gonna turn and make his way back out the room as accelerate. For he has to move outside and then gonna turn to a stop. Him looking around and asking people if anyone's okay. Or if everyone's okay. If anyone was hurt. And people, they do look around. Some cheering Izuku, as right now, their ears of the two people, they do come flying down. And Deku turns his head to look towards them. As he does, gonna walk over and express his gratitude for their help. Since, without them, that could have been pretty spotty. But how do they know that malware planted a bomb? It seemed obvious. Yeah, he used technology to teleport away. So he must have used technology to plant a bomb. He had it set to go off in a few minutes. It was a distraction. That does make sense. Though, he would have said something to make his escape, wouldn't he? Possibly. Maybe he didn't get to that much. You overpowered him, didn't you? I did. I definitely did. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like him. He attacked me and just came out of nowhere. That's the weirdest part. Wait, he teleported? Wait, that makes more sense. Mina's stepping forwards and providing it. Okay, so that fits into her theory then. Malware must have teleported in and attacked the victims, then teleported away. That's why their trail ends so abruptly. Her mana can't pick up on very much. Her mana cannot pick up on advanced tech. It all fits. So you think malware is kidnapping aliens? That would explain why he kidnapped one of my men. No, it really doesn't, actually. It could be that malware is planning something. They go turning back to the two, them expressing. He needs to be more careful. Had the bomb gone off, it could have hurt a lot of people. Yeah, thanks. Though, who are you two? We really shouldn't reveal too much. Yeah, you're right about that. Listen, Dad, we're gonna be... Dad? You idiot. My bad, I didn't think about it. Now, everyone does this with these two, since they just called Izuku their dad. And Deku, he does show express. Okay, exactly what's happening here? The girl gonna turn. Currently her grabbing her brother's hand and then smashing a button on his wristband. The two teleporting away. And Deku does see that. Since... Oh. So, are we all just gonna ignore that? Deku turning. And everyone does a stare at Bakugo. Him just saying. I mean, it's pretty weird, right? Those two pop up out of nowhere, call him their dad. He's just saying it's weird. I mean, isn't that right? It's what they're all thinking. Bakugo, I've dealt with plenty of weird. Though, this does have me concerned. Two time travelers? I'm gonna have to try and find a way to get into contact with Paradox. Maybe see what he knows? You really want to deal with that kook again? He's crazy. Yeah, Bakugo, but he's told me a lot about certain threats I might face. And if I'm right, then he might know what those two are doing. Especially if this is time travel related. Fine, listen, I should probably go. I've got some stuff to handle. Plus, that robot's not gonna take itself in. I'm gonna turn and beginning to leave. And Izuku, him and the girls do begin to head back home. And Mina, she currently doesn't head to her room, since right now she doesn't want to catalog the events today into her computer. See exactly what else she can turn up. Find out how to connect or predict or track malware. If this is tech related, she might need to get Melissa involved. She can help them out pretty well. Track teleportation technology using plumber resources, and boom, they can find out where he's at. Find out if he's on Earth or somewhere halfway across the universe. It's their best option. And she does feel sort of bad for pulling Melissa in on this. Though she knows that she'd probably be up to the challenge. It'd be a way for her to keep her mind busy. Plus, she can help people out. And there currently is Izuku. He does sit there outside, looking up at the stars, and thinking about it. A lot of weird things have been happening. Okay, so within the last week, 2 weeks, they've had to do a lot. He found out Kendo was. Oh god, hang on a second. Is it gonna be twins then? Oh Jesus Christ, they might have to do with twins. This untook his mind. Him turning and hearing a voice. Are you okay? Hey, Eunice. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm fine. I just I've got a lot going through my head. Oh, um, can we talk? Hmm? Yeah. What do you need? It's just there's a lot I need to tell you. I talked with Asmith. You did? Is this about that employment thing he offered you to be his assistant? Well, he brought it up again, and I've looked into a few things. I've asked some questions to some people, and he was one of my major concerns. Um, it's just that I'm apparently. How's the best way to say this? Oh my God, are you pregnant, Eunice? Yes? Oh, okay, hang on. Oh God. Oh God, I think I'm gonna puke this time. What? Are you okay? No, I'm fine. Just last week Kendo told me the same thing. It's a little overwhelming. I'm still freaking out about that. Sorry. Just okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah. Um. So I just I didn't really know when to tell you. So how do we how do how does this work? Have you not looked into it? I have, but Asmith is a bit more intrigued about monitoring me. He said that he liked to observe this cycle of mine or whatever it's called. He wants to study you. Apparently, I thought it was weird. It is weird, Eunice. You're not something to be studied. You're a person. I know. And listen, what's happening is I'm gonna turn. Bring his hands up as she grab his. It's great. I'm really not sure how to react to it though. I mean, is it gonna hurt you? Is it gonna hurt them? It? Him? Her? Actually, that's a good question. Hang on. Those two time travelers who called me dad. You think that they might be. You think I might have twins? Deku, hearing a sound, turning and looking up, seeing the two float there in the air. And he does a stare at that. Currently, he's turning to Eunice and talking about it. He's gonna go find out what they're doing up there. Are you sure it's safe? I mean, will there be any sort of repercussions? Not really. If they time traveled and changed the timeline, that means it's a different timeline now. So, they're still my kids, just now from not the future, the different timeline. Time travel sounds weird. Trust me, it's more complicated if you try and break it down. I'm gonna turn and go to transform into Chromastone, flying up into the air to see exactly why they're here. And Deku, when he does get up there, there is actually Eunice, who currently does stand and walk back inside. Since she does feel like she needs to lay down, she's panicking about a lot of stuff. And Deku does go float there, asking the two of them exactly why they decided to time travel. He's fairly certain they know how dangerous it could be, especially if they learned about it from an older version of him. Okay, fine. Currently them going to stand there, expressing, listen, they only came back to see him. They didn't plan on interacting. Them turning their head and looking at their brother. Right? We couldn't just stop. Besides, it's Dad. You know, he could have gotten hurt from that, right? I'm pretty sure that's the explosion that nearly. Never mind. Nearly what? Nearly killed you. I've been in worse explosions. See, I told you that was the wrong one. Will you shut up? Besides, we're trying to help. I mean, we could tell him about Eon. We can tell him about a lot of stuff. He could face it early. Figure out how to defeat it early. Listen, you two. Go back to your own timeline. I already heard about Eon from myself before. You have? You think you're the only time traveler in this family? Right. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we were just trying to observe. You do know that you interfering in the timeline already does change it already, don't you? It does? Deku bring his hand up and trying to explain to both of them exactly what they did. However, their Izuku does get to hear a sound. His badge going to beep as he does go to bring his hand down and grab it. Him going to express to the two. He doesn't have a lot of time to talk. Right now, they're putting efforts towards hunting down malware. So, if they are going to stick around and help out, he suggests they be careful. If not, then how about they go back home? Him going to turn. Him going to fly past them before telling them. He does appreciate the help, but seriously, this is out of their league. Have they even fought anything before? We'll be fine. No, you won't. How old are you two? Oh, uh, well, we're. How old are you two? We're 14. Hey, we're gonna be 15 next month. Shut up. No, you shut up. He wouldn't have known that. Okay, just stop talking. They go looking at these two, them bickering back and forth. And he does express to both of them to head home. Him gonna turn and fling away. And right now, Deku, he does head to Plumber HQ. Since after what malware did, it caused a little bit of an uproar with a few people. Though with their intervention and the fact that people got out of there mostly unhurt or unharmed, it does help the situation. They were able to not have any casualties. And right now, that is the best outcome they could have hoped for. And with that being said, Deku does go into HQ, and he does begin to sit in the meeting. a lot going through his head. And there actually is Ken, who does see that Deku, he seems a little distracted. He's probably thinking about Kendo, or he probably talked to her or spent time with her. He doesn't want to be apart from her. Izuku, he's trying to do some math, trying to figure out exactly if he might have any other problems he's dealing with. Now, currently Izuku is a little distracted, and people are talking all around him. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.